Hello, citizens of Gotham. A little last minute thing. I know it's a little late. I was just running around, had a lot of errands to do today, and I kept thinking, "Oh, I'll go live at 6. I'll go live at 7. I'll go." It's just like couldn't figure it out today. And then just watching YouTube, and Kate, our moderator, is here. I know it's late, but no worries, Kate. If I know I know it's late for you. It's so. I just was like looking at how YouTube has throttled me so hard. My like ad revenue for them is so down. And the way YouTube works, whatever dollar amount you're at in ads and super chats at the last day of the month, then you get that amount on the next. They pay you the following month. So there's always a lot of YouTubers kind of mad scrambling the last week of the month to post videos and to go live. And you know, it's just like, God, it's such a thing. October surprise, burning the midnight oil. Every leftist should know Caleb Maupin. I've had him on the show a couple times. Good luck to all my American friends from Canada, and he ain't coming here if he loses. Oh, did Trump say that? He's coming here if he loses? Got lucky, refreshed my subscription tabs, didn't get a notification. So I am 300 some subscribers less than I normally. They have unsubscribed. They're unsubscribing people. My subscriber count has gone down. And it really bothers me because this is like how I make my living. And, you know, it'd be one thing if like COVID somehow affected my job. I'd be like, that sucks. But hey, everyone's getting knocked out. I'm online like 5 days a week, 4 days, usually 4 days on YouTube and 1 day on Rockfin, at least 5 days a week, sometimes more. There's some Mondays where I would go live on YouTube with Government Secrets with Lee Camp and then go Rockfin later that day. Like I'm putting out just fucking thousands of hours of content and my money's getting cut. And it's just like, it's nuts. Well, I hope he leaves. God, if Trump loses, leave. Yeah, go. It's funny because what happened during the Obama, Obama like, I'm leaving, like the conservative and the Trumpers, we're leaving. Where are you guys going to go? That's conservative, Christian, everybody speaks English, and you can own a gun. There's no other place. There's no other place where you can be this conservative and crazy. There's places maybe you can own a gun, but they don't speak English. You know? Like, what's up, Sam Dean? He said that at a rally. Oh, well, then if he does lose, then it'd be like, all right, dude, get out and take your crazy cult members with you. He'll go to Russia. They won't want him there. So let me just. Some reason I can't get into YouTube's. There's always something, right? There's always some. Here we go. We're also live streaming on the Rockfin, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make sure everybody over there is doing well. Hit the like button. Kate is our moderator. Kate, very much appreciate everything that you do. Okay, all right. Let's go over to the Rockfin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make sure we got everybody up and running over at the Rockfin, rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It is October 29th, year 2020. Boom, boom, boom. We're live on the Rockfin, kids. Thank you for joining us over on the Rickety Rock and on Facebook. Isn't that interesting? We're over on the Facebook. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching us somewhere else, make sure you are subscribed on the YouTube as well. Here we go. Yeah, it is live on. There we go. Stephen Running is watching us over on Facebook. Hello, everybody over on the Facebook. That's cool. That's cool. Folks, a great way to support the show is to hit the dollar icon button if you're on YouTube. If you're on the other platforms, you have to use Venmo at Graham-Elwood, and I will answer your question, or just go over to YouTube and log in and do what Sam Dean has done. Sam, shave your knuckles for justice. I hope everything's good down there in Melbourne, my friend. Info, 4 new cases of COVID-19, 0 deaths, and that's in reopening with mandatory masks. It's working, dude. Just being a strong community is working. Yeah, and I think it's so. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. What we're reading here is from Sam Dean, who is down in Melbourne, Australia. And I want to make this point. What he's talking about here, 4 new cases of COVID-19, 0 deaths, and that's reopening with mandatory masks. It's working, dude. Just being a strong community is working. So here's what they've done in Australia. So they had a bad outbreak in Victoria, which is the state where Melbourne is, right? And they shut everything back down. And some people were mad, which I get, who wants to go back to a full shutdown? But they got the numbers under control, and they just make masks mandatory everywhere you go. And that's reopening. They realizing if we wear masks like Japan has done, then we can reopen. Another thing Australia has done, and this is part of the problem in America, because we have not done this. Australia has free healthcare. Australia pays they've been giving everybody, to my understanding, $1,500 every 2 weeks. Every fortnight, as they like to say down there. So everyone's getting $3,000 a month. They're taking care of everybody. To my knowledge, there's no evictions and none of that stuff. We do the CARES Act. The CARES Act was theft. The CARES Act was the 1% and Wall Street to steal. They got $4.25 trillion that was not given to the American people. I've said this from day one. When everyone's screaming to reopen, the main reason everyone's screaming to reopen is because the economy is crushing. And look, I'm sure the economy is not great in Australia. It's not great anywhere where all this shutdown stuff has happened. Australia has a big tourism industry that's completely shut down. So that hurts. That's hurting. I'm sure there's a lot of businesses being hurt in Australia, but I doubt they're being hurt as badly as they are in America. So not only have we handled the disease correctly, we haven't handled the supporting of the American citizens correctly. So one thing that should have been done with that $4.25 trillion is give it directly to the American people, right? Free healthcare should have been given. And also in that money, we could have said, all right, we're spending more money on PPP and testing and all this stuff, because that's one of the ways you can reopen. Okay, everyone's got a mask, so we got to make sure everybody has enough masks. We got to make sure the hospitals have enough PPE. We got to make sure these businesses have money so they're staffed. The restaurants, the stores, everybody. Okay, let's make sure there's enough free tests for everybody across the country. That's how we do it. Constantly test. If you look at certain, obviously, when billionaire owners of professional sports franchises get involved, they get it figured out. Look at what the NBA did. Look what the MLS did. And look at what the WNBA and the NHL did. They all played in a bubble. Right? They all played in a bubble, and they got it pretty figured out. And they had the money to do that. They spent the money. They put everybody in a bubble. They tested everybody every day or whatever it was. They did it. So it's it can be done. Sure, they were playing in empty arenas or whatever. And now you're seeing college football. Well, the reason college football is playing is because universities now, their financing is so tied to college football TV revenue and stuff. That's why they're forcing colleges open. Because the universities have made this deal. It's another form of this late stage toxic capitalism that is destroying everything. So if we had an actual government, not a banana republic, and I blame both political parties for this, we still don't have another stimulus bill. Great. So the American people are starving while two parties have a slap fight before this election. Government, what it should do is take care of its. This is when a crisis hits. This is when a government should be taking care of its citizens. But from day one, we're just in this banana republic. It's awful. America doesn't know. It's dropped the ball on so many levels. And then thanks to, Trump is just a complete idiot and a jackass. And so he said all this crap, we don't need masks. So that fosters this conspiracy crap. QAnon, which is a psyop. It's a psyop. Wake up. If you're in QAnon and you hear me say that it's a psyop and you're getting mad, well, then you're not the seek the truth person that you claim to be. Because if you're in QAnon and you hear that it's a psyop, do a little research. Read WikiLeaks. It's a psyop. You're getting played. That's why QAnon has like 70% truth, and then then it makes a crazy turn. But we're all getting played. They want us divided. They want us fighting with each other. They want that. That's what QAnon is, to help keep people divided. Absolutely. Private intelligence has absolutely gotten inside Black Lives Matter, the Proud Boys, Antifa, whatever, to just keep everybody fighting with each other. That's the whole goal. Keep everyone fighting with each other. So anyway, we could have handled this the right way. And I bet you're going to see Australia, because they're handling it the right way, start opening up in the next 3-4 months. Like, open up, but they'll have the money and everything to make everybody wear a mask. I've been talking about this since day one. Japan had spike numbers, and then they said, they figured out, wear a mask, everyone wear a mask. Boom, the numbers just dropped the minute they did that. So yeah, it worked in Australia. Why can't we do that in America? Why can't we do what they did in America? Australia's not perfect. It's got its corruption and this and that, but it's like nothing compared to how awful this country is. Australia is not an empire that's collapsing. We're a collapsing empire. Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice. Emblem Fade, what's up? Hit the like button, everybody. Check out Odysee. They don't censor. Also funded by Bit. You can transfer vids. We need to support YouTube alternatives since they officially embracing 1984. Yeah, you know what? I think today... so I spoke with somebody, this guy, I forget his name is Jesse or Julian or something I forget his name. But I had a nice conversation with this guy at Odysee like a week ago, and he told me their platform. And I thought it was going to be a lot of extra work uploading, but they've actually figured it out on their end, where you just like basically flip a switch and anything I upload on YouTube automatically goes to Odysee, because that's a separate uploading issue, is just more time. And my editor, I'm paying her part-time, and I don't think she has the time, and I don't have the money to pay her more. So I'm gonna do Odysee. I appreciate. Thank you for reminding me that. I think the guy just sent me an email. Very cool guy, very straightforward. Answered all my questions, and they have a little bit of a different business model than Rokfin. That's again why I'm a huge proponent of Rock. Look, I saw the writing on the wall last spring, early summer, and I was like, oh God, they're deplatforming people, and so I just said, well, Rokfin's going to be my backup plan. I'm just going to put all my videos on Rokfin as well. And now it's starting to make me a little bit of money. Now it's different because YouTube pays you every month in cash, and Rokfin you get paid tokens, and they go up and down, and you got to convert them to either Ethereum or Bitcoin to cash out to get some money. And so it's a different process. It's a different. I can't say. Like each month I can say, I made this dollar amount from YouTube. Rokfin, it's just different, but that's okay. So that's the thing about, that's nice about YouTube and Patreon is just it's consistent. But Rockfin is doing fantastic. I love what's happening. I've got over 10,000 followers on Rockfin. You can sign up to Rockfin for free, by the way. But I think Odyssey, you're right. I need to do and they've got their own crypto, and I'm gonna post there as well, because it's just like, that keeps happening. That's probably YouTube did that. So no, I appreciate that, Emblem Fate. I'm gonna email the guy probably tomorrow and tell him I'm down with Odyssey. Let's go, because I need other revenue streams, and because that's the whole reason why we all jumped on Patreon 3 years ago, was like YouTube was, and it's frustrating on the one hand, but also, I've been dealing with this in one form, or not the censorship angle, but just in terms of being a comedian and working in show business, you can't have all your eggs in one basket. You just can't. It's like when I first started as a young comedian, it was like, don't work only for this comedy club or this one booking agent, because what would happen, the booking agent gets fired or quits or gets replaced, and the new person doesn't like you, and then you lose all these tour dates, or the comedy club goes out of business, or again, they get a new owner, they get a new booker, and this person doesn't like you. Now, sometimes it changes where there's a club that doesn't like you, they're never going to book you, and then that person leaves, and then a person takes over who's like, man, I always thought you rocked, and they give you work. But it's a thing I learned as a young comic early on. You gotta spread out and have as many revenue streams. And so over 10 years ago, when all this podcasting started, I was like, oh, there's potential revenue streams here. So, and now there's the added thing of being completely censored by these unelected tech billionaires. They're unelected tech billionaires that are determining freedom of speech. They don't need the courts. They don't need, there's no checks on them. There's no nothing. They just can do whatever they want because they have all this money. They own politicians like Nancy Pelosi and people like that. And now and their data and their analytics and their technology is enticing to the CIA. So, they start doing work with the CIA. So it's like, I'm a guy in his apartment just trying to make a living. It's like unreal. Thoughts on Greenwald leaving The Intercept? I'm going to get into that in a second. But anyway, I appreciate you all supporting the show. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Share this on your social media. Caves of Chaos 1, 2, 3. Shave your knuckles for justice. It's going to be great having a veteran bootlicker for corporation as president. Bonus, he doesn't tweet. The heart swells with pride, doesn't it? Yeah, Biden is looking like he's in a better spot than Hillary was 4 years ago. You never know. You never know. He's not being cocky like Hillary was. He's actually out there campaigning and doing online stuff as much as we can. I've been pretty open about my thoughts on Joe Biden and the Democratic Party. But I will say, by the way, 68 likes. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button. I will say that if Biden does win Tuesday and it's overwhelming, now it could very well be, we don't know the results, it's too close. If that's going to happen, then that'll go on for weeks and that'll fuel rioting and shit like that. But if Biden just, like, it sounds, I don't know, it's hard to trust the polls. But if the deep state is like, we want Biden, Trump is costing us too much money or some way or another, maybe they've had some conversation like he's costing us too much money, or we just want to create chaos, whatever. That could very well happen. I've talked about, I don't want to be right. I don't want there to be chaos in the streets. I don't want there to be like, no, we don't know who won the election until, January. I don't want that crazy shit. But so if all these polls and everything, and let's say Biden might flip Georgia, he might flip a couple other red states. Hopefully Jesse Ventura will win Alaska, which would be awesome. If there's just this sweeping, which wouldn't be like, oh, we love Joe Biden so much. It would just be like a resounding Trump get out of here. And it's showing that his followers are just small and loud and crazy. But Trump could still win. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's all these silent Trump supporters that don't want to wave the flag and be called a racist or whatever, but secretly they're going to vote for him. It might also be the other way. There might be people living in Trump country going, I'm not going to put out a Joe Biden sign. I'm not going to wave a hat for Joe Biden, but I'm going to vote for him because I'm tired of Trump's bullshit. Yeah, there could be that. I don't know. But if there is this sweeping thing and Trump's out and then I don't know. I mean, because some of Trump's supporters, the Second Amendment, I think at the end of the day, they're like bullies. And you flex on a bully, they usually, oh, sorry. Like they'll step down pretty quickly. I don't know. I've talked a lot about, I'm worried America's going to collapse and it's going to devolve into a civil war and there's going to be martial law and all that. I've talked about that a lot. There's a lot of indications to that. I don't want that to happen. Believe me when I say I don't want to be right. I would love to be wrong. I would love to go, I was wrong. America's okay. It's still just figuring itself out. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Robin Johnson, look at us. Only one state. This is going back to the Australia. Victoria has been in lockdown. Still, they're just starting to go back to somewhat normal in school, and other states have been back to school and work normally. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. That's cool. Let me just tweet this out that I'm live on Rockfin. Boom. The Corona supplement is now only $200 on top of regular Social Security. Yeah, talking back to the United States, absolutely. Do you think secession and forming smaller, more manageable countries is a realistic goal? It's obvious the U.S. can't be reformed. That very well might happen. Remember the 3rd of November. I just watched V for Vendetta. Trump thinks he's not winning. That's why he's in chaos mode. Narcissists like to take everyone down with them when they're in trouble. Well, that's absolutely true. But getting back, I mean, that might happen. I mean, like, look, the great experiment might fail. I mean, it might be like we tried it and it doesn't work. And if there's all this chaos, you might just have, because part of the problem now is like, the states are all the states are spiking in coronavirus. The whole countries, and a lot of red states who were like no mask states, no mask, mandatory mask, were like, now their numbers are spiking. And so you might just have, I mean, California's been talking about it for a while. California, Oregon, Washington might go, bye. We're forming our own West Coast, whatever. And that might happen. And maybe Nevada would come with us, and maybe Arizona would, maybe not. Maybe they'd join Texas or whatever. I don't know. It might have to happen, because it's like, when I think of California, California has the 5th largest economy in the world. Right. So as a Californian, I'm not represented. So for every electoral vote in California, there's 400,000 people. Right. In Iowa, for every electoral vote, there's 100,000 people. So already my vote is less valuable than somebody in Iowa. That's bullshit. So if we don't get rid of the Electoral College, and it's like California, like I said, 5th largest economy in the world. We supply a lot of the produce for the country. We supply the technology. We supply the technology and entertainment for the world. And there's a lot of defense contractors in California. So it's like we California, and from a tax standpoint, like especially all these conservatives and libertarians, like, I don't want to pay a lot of taxes. It's like, hey, California pays a shit ton. We pay for a lot of people, man. We pay for a lot of shit. California does. So why are we paying for these other states? Why don't we just keep all of the money from our economy that's bigger than most of countries in the world? Like, why don't we just do that? I mean, literally, it's America, China, Russia, Brazil, India, California. So why am I paying taxes in California for people in Mississippi and wherever else, and my vote doesn't count as much? Why am I doing that? I'm just like, I don't want to do that anymore. They're all like, well, I don't want my taxes to go for this. Well, you know what? I want my taxes to go for free college. I want my taxes to go for free college, for Medicare for all. I want my taxes to go for that. I benefit from Medicare for all. I don't directly benefit from free college. I already have a college degree, but it makes a better society. If there's more, if kids have a chance at college, it reduces crime, it reduces all this stuff. So it just makes society better. So I would rather my taxes go for that than some bullshit war in Yemen and to bail out these other states. Like, why? You keep the National Guard. All right, California keeps its National Guard. Fine. We have treaties with the other states. I don't care. Fine. And, you know, we can have this, the utopia that California always wanted to be and had little glimpses and visions of it and little areas of it. Because what, you know, we could do in California, we wouldn't have to deal with, we wouldn't have senators blocking this. We wouldn't have Mitch McConnell and people. We could just go, all right, you know what we're doing in the voters of California are overwhelmingly going to go, oh, reparations. Yep. Up, give the natives their land back. Done. We're all voting for it. It's a liberal, hippie, lefty state. Done. Oh, Green New Deal for California. California has an absolute Green New Deal. We will be off. It's going to be, we're going to take care of it. California would just like this, would just go boom, 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 boom. Gun reform. I want to have my gun. Great. Move the fuck to the People's Republic of Texas. I don't give a shit. Go. Done. Just go. Pack your shit. You fucking drive into Arizona and go fucking murder somebody. I don't care. Like, it would, Californians would just go, we would just say, no, now this country is going to be the country we always wanted America to be. So we're going to make it our way. There's not going to be ICE. We're not going to have ICE in the state of California. We're going to defund the police. We're going to use more social programs. We're going to deal with the homeless. We're going to deal with all these. That's what the California Republic would be. Because we would have the power. We would have the majority. It'd be done. And the battle for power over California would be between like progressives and socialists and corporate Democrats. That'd be as far right as you could go as the corporate Democrats in the country of California. That would be that. Liberal, hippie, lefty, whatever you want to call us, we completely outnumber everybody. The little small town right wingers, we completely outnumber them. Completely. Absolutely. Like, done. I would love for that to happen. Let me read some super chats. Super chats. Sam Dean, what's up, dude? How is it that the Pope himself says he supports same-gender unions, yet the hard right wants to disavow it? Isn't he their religious leader? Discuss. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. So this is a fantastic question. The Pope supports. We have finally have a more liberal Pope, right? Supports same-sex unions, yet the hard right wants to disavow it. Isn't that he the religious leader? Well, no. They don't align. The religious right, the hard right, the evangelicals think Catholicism is crazy or evil or whatever. They are Old Testament, they believe in the second coming. They want the second coming to happen. They honestly think it's going to happen. And that's why they're so adamant. It's a big step that the Pope said this. That is a little bit of progress. I'm a former Catholic myself. So it's a big deal, but that's the distinction between the Pope, which represents the Roman Catholic Church, and the evangelicals who, whatever they do, pray to snakes or whatever the fuck they do. So that's the difference. But we should. I mean, they want to send America back to the Stone Ages, those folks. And they're a small, loud, crazy minority. And moderate Christians, you need to speak up. If you're a practicing Christian, I have friends of mine, they go to Lutheran churches, whatever, Methodist, whatever. You need to speak up and shout these people down. Because I can, but I'm this godless hippie in their eyes or whatever. You need to say, hey, I'm a Christian, and you guys are way out of line. Just like moderate Muslims need to say, hey, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, no. Islam is a peaceful religion. Jesus, talk about how peaceful and loving Jesus was. Not this fire and brimstone crazy shit that they talk about. That's what needs to happen. And be like, and that the moderate Christian should go, hey, if the Pope can change his tune on this, two people love each other. Who are we to decide? It's you're that's the other thing that drives me nuts about the evangelicals. They are the furthest thing from the teachings of Jesus Christ that I have ever seen in my life. Jesus was not this hate-filled monster forcing his view on everybody. He loved everybody. He hung out with prostitutes and criminals and lepers. That's who he hung out with. That's in the Bible. And they bastardize it for their own. They're crazy people who just found a thing. Look, if those same crazy people were in a Muslim country, they'd be Muslim extremists. They just are going to take whatever thing that they were raised on and make it extreme and crazy because that's who they are. They want to force their views on people. So I don't know if their water's all contaminated or what, but they're not right in the head. Shave your knuckles for justice. Boom. Great question, Sam. Miss Hendricks, what's up? Can't stay, but keep up the good work regarding Maxwell. You got it. Just drop some more videos going through the deposition. I'll do more on that. I got to be honest with you. Every day that I go through that deposition, there's a part of me that's just like, I procrastinate and I don't want to do it because I know it's going to be awful. And it makes me so, and I'm always like more irritable that day, I'm finding. And because it's just, it's gnarly and it's triggering. I will keep doing it. I will keep doing it. Especially if it like, yeah, we're going to start, I'm going to be on Odyssey. Cause that's the other thing too. Any Maxwell Epstein videos would always get high view counts. And it was a thing I wrestled with because I was like, oh, I don't want to only do Epstein stuff. It's so gnarly to cover this, but it helped. I mean, that's what last summer of 2019, I went from 20,000 to 50,000 subscribers in 6 weeks because of the Epstein story covering it. So, but now YouTube's throttling that. Now they're throttling that. Anyway, I'm going to keep covering it. I'm just telling you that it's not easy to cover. And reading that deposition and listen to her being so arrogant and just so flat out lying. It's enraging that these people are so powerful, can do whatever they want. It's so maddening. It's so unfair. It's just so not fair, but I will keep covering it, Ms. Hendricks. And thank you for supporting the show. I know it's late for a lot of folks, so thank you. Direct democracy, there should be an app for that. Read Mike Gravel's book. He talks about how easily we could implement direct democracy. Did the Last American Vagabond come back and get pulled again? I don't know. I don't know what happened to them. Sparky, boom. Because you have Gavin Newsom as governor. Yeah. Do you worry the State Department will screw with the election? Russia, I meant Russia, or maybe Iran or Chad or one of those guys. Yeah. California technically belongs to Mexico. That's true. 50% of income tax goes to unregulated private companies contracted out by the Pentagon. When they say we can't afford social programs, they're lying to our faces. Yep. Yes, they are. Hey, from the Buckeye State, what's up? Great news. A judge has put a halt on a rocket docket secret deal selling public land between Detroit mayor and developer for Amazon because of insufficient public input. Well, that's cool. Hold on. There's a couple super chats I missed. I want to make sure I got them. Oh, look at all that. Look at all these super chats floating in there. Aren't you delightful little super chatters? Oh, let me make sure I got them all. I got them all. Boo, 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 boo. Gina G. What's up, Gina? How's everything in the aerospace world? Ooh, I'm on board. Either we vote to succeed or a frat quake breaks us loose. I think if Trump wins, California is going to go, we're done. People in California might just go, we're done. We want out. We want out. We don't want you anymore. Go away from us. And which would be fantastic. It would be fantastic. I mean, if Trump won, I think California would go, time to secede. We're out. And it would be like, and if that happened, it would be like, if you're a Trump supporter, pack your shit and get out. This country, get out. Go, get out. You don't get to surf here. And anyone from any of the red countries want to come here, great. There's a 40% tax on you. We're going to put a huge tariff on oranges. Go fuck yourself. Go to Texas and eat some dirt is what we just fuck off. You know, get out. So yeah, I would like to see that. I'd like to see that happening. Oh, this earpiece keeps being stupid. Maybe it's time to get rid of that. Ho. All right. There we go. Yeah, Gina, I'm down. Make billionaires illegal. Harry C. Smith. Hello, Harry. What's the progress with the campaign to split California 3 states, north, south, and intercoastal? I don't know. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard about that. I've only heard about California seceding from the United States. Heck, the homeless probably outnumber the right wingers in California. There's nothing leftist about a state where people can't afford to live in. I know. So I love about Australia. We have a prime minister, but have our local states, our premiers. Yeah. Now you actually have more state rights. This is what America was supposed to be. Sparky, boom. Why doesn't California set the example? Where's your single payer healthcare? Many countries have government healthcare with much smaller economies. That is such a great point. So 2 years ago, no, check that. 3 years ago, there was a single payer healthcare plan for the state of California, and California Democrats. This is another reason why if California broke away from the United States, it would weaken the Democratic Party. Why would we need these dumb Democrats in Congress and Senate? We wouldn't have it. We wouldn't need them. We wouldn't need Dianne Feinstein and Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris, and we wouldn't need it with you. That's an old. We don't need. We're no longer a part of Congress or the Senate. We'd have our state representatives, and it would be like we could really. I mean, you would see a flurry of like socialists and Greens, and because right now the DNC, the national organization of the Democratic Party, has a firm stranglehold on California because California is they need California. They need California's donors. They need all this stuff. So if we broke off, this is just my theory here. We're getting into a big hypothetical issue here, but my what I see could happen, and maybe I'm wrong, but the Democratic Party, then why would we need the Democratic Party in the state of California? There's none of this, oh, we need to change. We're done with Washington, D.C. We're done with it. We're done with them. We don't need the Democratic Party. The Greens could have like, oh, the Green Party we're going to have the Greens are going to take over the California. Because what would happen, so each state has its own state. Each state basically has its own Congress and Senate, right? The state assembly and the House, right? That then becomes, that governing body is the body that governs the country of California. That's what that would be. Literally Pelosi out of a job, Dianne Feinstein out of a job, Kamala Harris out of a job, Ted Lieu, my congressman, out of a job. We don't need him anymore. We're not a part of the United States. It'd be fantastic. The Democratic Party would just be like, whoop. They'd get the rug pulled out from under them like that. And there's none of this. So any of that, we got to fight the Republicans. There's no there's not enough Republicans in the state of California. They have no power. So now we could just vote out the Democrats and get rid of that party. It'd be awesome. Or they'd be like, you better change. Nobody cares about you anymore. It'd be awesome. It would be, we'd have elections between like a socialist, a communist, a Green Party member, and maybe a Democrat. Like, oh, here we go. Okay. Here's how we're going to do it. This sounds good to me. Awesome. No more private prisons. Free college for everybody. We could turn California into a utopia in about 5 years. Form an independent Department of Justice to investigate Epstein crimes. Yeah. No more CIA. No more Defense Department. Okay. We keep our National Guard. Maybe we buy a couple of Navy boats or whatever, because some of the bases we keep, some of them by United States federal government. We don't need your army here anymore. We don't need it. Women have no rights to their own bodies under Trump. He's lost a lot of women's support, and that's why he's pulled his wife out twice this week, because she has strong woman following. Yeah. Jesus was the first socialist. Matthew 25. We were only as good as our weakest citizen. Jesus was a hippie. Yeah, man. Sparky, California's failure as a test nation hurts the whole nation. If you want to be your own country, act like one. You have the resources you need. Yeah, I know. But as I'm explaining here, Sparky, it's a valid point you're bringing up. Right now, California is so tied to the Democratic National Committee. Do you know how much donation money just in this election for Biden has come out of California? Every Democratic presidential candidate has to come to California. They got to go to Hollywood and they got to go to Silicon Valley. And that's where the big checks are written. They got to go to the wine cave. So that's why the Democratic Party can still nosedive things like single payer healthcare in the state of California. That all goes away if California secedes. Cage, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. What is Odysee? So Odysee is a new platform It's another alternative to YouTube. They use cryptocurrency. They do similar to what Rockfin does. They mine their own crypto, their own token, and they pay you. They have a different algorithm and platform of how you get paid in terms of clicks and view, but you get their cryptocurrency, and if that currency goes up, and so the more content creators that are on the platform, the more valuable that currency becomes, right? Currently, I looked at Odysee. They have a lot of they got a lot of right-wing channels, that's fine by me. I mean, the thing I love about Rockfin is very lefty, independent, and wrestling and MMA. It's the greatest combination. I don't have a problem with being on a platform that has right-wing people, as long as I don't know that I want to support, if they're alt-right. No, if they're just right-wing conservatives, that's fine. I don't agree with most of what they say, but that's fine. If they're advocating for racism and all that shit and whatever, no. So that's what Odysee is. It's a platform, and there's not a lot of lefties on it. Ron was talking to me about it, and he introduced me to this guy from them that I spoke with, and that guy just sent me an email a couple days ago, and I owe him a response, and I think I'm going to just say, yeah, let's start it. So I'm going to start being on Odysee. So they don't have live and super chats and stuff like that. That's the thing I really need Rockfin to do. It's a big part of my revenue, the super chats. I'll be very honest with you. So because YouTube has throttled the clickable ad thing, and they've throttled that so much. That used to be the bulk of it, So that's what Odysee is. It's another platform, Kate. And it's spelled actually Odyssee. It's daytime in Australia. Awesome. Emblem Fate. Boom. Miss my second chat. Oh, let's go look at it. Where did I miss your? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it up there. Emblem Fates. Boom. Don't you fear Biden winning more, especially since Dems crackdown on media questioning the party pretty much makes you a Russian or thought criminal? Look, it's a shit sandwich or a shit sandwich with lettuce. I mean, there's no two ways. That neither option is good. If Trump wins, we go full into fascism. We're already there. If Biden wins, we might go hardline into fascism anyway. If Biden is in the White House and there's riots in the streets because of the economy collapsing and people don't have food, he's going to double down on the cops. So is Kamala. Look, the private prison industry stock went up when she was named as VP candidate. So there's no great thing. I mean, I think if Biden becomes president, he at least will handle COVID better. And again, I voted for Jesse Ventura. So I'm not advocating for Joe Biden. I live in California, and Jesse Ventura is a certified write-in candidate. I voted for Jesse Ventura. But many of America's problems, it's too late. We're collapsing, and it's not going to matter who's president. I guess if Biden gets in, it might be a little not as horrific, is the best I could put it. But I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes president and then the economy collapses, because that's happening no matter what. And then he just doubles down on his cops and crime bill people and Kamala. They're going to just beat the shit out of people. There's going to be vans snatching people off the streets like they did in Portland. Then maybe the Vote Any Blue Will Do crowd will go, wait a minute. Hey, Biden's doing that. Yeah, he's doing the same thing Trump did, which is the same thing that Obama did, which is the same thing George Bush did. Yes, America is an authoritarian fascist state, and it has been for 20 years, at least, since the Patriot Act, at the very least. So there's no good outcome because these are our two choices. but Trump is acting like the Nazis in the 30s. I mean, and his following, his rabid, I mean, the voting blue blue people are idiots. But the Trump people, and Jordan Sheridan confirmed this on the show about a month or two ago, he said they're way more violent, they're way more racist, and you know, they want to just cause all kind of mayhem, and Trump doesn't give a shit. I mean, yeah. I don't think Biden is some great savior. I mean, obviously, if you watch this show, you know I don't say that, but it's a valid question you're asking. It's a valid question you're asking. But in my opinion, that's what I see. But America's collapsing regardless of whoever wins on Tuesday. Hey, well, look, we have a tough choice ahead. You can choose between Trump's overt fascism or you can choose between Biden's covert fascism. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. Fracking with science, fracking without science, guys. Rainbow flags on bombs or bombs without rainbow flags. I mean, it's really tough. Spark a boom. California will be as corrupt as ever if it breaks away. Pompeo will work as regime change magic and put a U.S. puppet in as California president. Could very well be the case, but know this, that if the United States if California breaks off, other places are going to break off, and then the United States won't be the big, powerful United States anymore. That'll be part of it. It'll just kind of fracture off, and there's no central intelligence. There's no nothing. There's like, can we leave LA with Las Vegas? I think Vegas would want to join the California thing. Emblem fate, boom. They'd bomb socialist Cali immediately. Yeah. We're in Afghanistan to mine $3 trillion worth of resources, not oil. China owns 25% of U.S. We flag mineral-rich area, pay off local Taliban not to attack. China mines it, pay back China for our debt. Yep. I know. That's why we've been in Afghanistan for 2 decades. Kate! Boom. What's up, Kate? Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. What are we at likewise? Where are our likes? 222 people watching, 144 likes. Get the likes up to 200, everybody. I know these late night chats are a little smaller numbers, but I like it. The Pope made a deal with China to recognize its 2 Chinese government-picked bishops. Critics say that Francis sold out to the underground faithful for money. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, look, other countries are realizing China is becoming the world power, and they're an economic power. They're not a military power. And that's by design. China saw what we've done, and they're like, well, we don't need to blow everything up and conquer. We'll just buy everything. That's what China's doing, is just buying everything. So Alan Flynn, boom, RIP to the victims in France. Yeah, I'm just hearing a little bit about that. It's pretty awful. We have much more choice in Australia. Labour Party, Liberal Party, Green Party, One Nation. I'm so glad it helps to keep our politicians in check if they need to come up with their plan for what their plan is under their government before elections. I'd hate to have a choice between Trump and Biden. I know. Yeah, Tuesday is the Republican primary, basically. I should download Rockfin so then I can super chat. Yeah, so Rockfin is free to sign up, rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. There's a Rockfin app that's for iPhones. So So check that out. And then if you want to send, if you're on Facebook or one of the other places, you can send me a super chat, which supports the show, and I'll answer your question and give you a shout out. On Venmo, my Venmo is at Graham-Elwood. Many of you have used that. Sam Dane, what's up? I think America should build the wall. Just think of all the fabulous graffiti space that'd be created. Miles of art display, total tourist bait. Yeah, it'd be fantastic. It'd be fantastic. Yeah. People don't realize it's not always about oil. That phone in your hand is built in war-torn areas. Yeah, the minerals for cell phone batteries. Yep. I'm going to vote for La Riva. I was going to vote for Ventura Dario. Yeah, La Riva, she's on the ballot. I think go for it, man. Yes, it is too late. You're the only other person I've heard admit this. Yep. If Biden wins and the left goes to sleep, yeah, that's another option too. All the resistors go, we did it. We beat Trump. Back to brunch. Let's go back to brunch. Here's the thing about that. Yes, that will happen for a limited amount of time. Yes, all those fake resistors, those vote any blue will do people, the reason they spend more time yelling at us progressives and lefties and socialists rather than hold the Democratic Party accountable is they want everything to go back the way it was with Obama. They make money. They live in their nice suburbs. They have a 6-7 figure income. They're for gay marriage, but that's their only, I mean, they don't give a shit. They don't care. Yemen, all the wars, Syria, it's not in their backyard, so they don't care. They don't care. They don't need $15 an hour. They don't need Medicare for all. They don't need free college, so they don't give a shit about it. They don't give a shit. So they will go back to sleep, but only for a short amount of time because the economic collapse is coming, guys. It's coming. I want to be wrong, but this isn't just my opinion. I'm watching all of these financial experts. I mean, from NBC to Fox to RT to, I mean, everybody's like, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I'm telling you, one of the reasons I watch Rich Dad, Poor Dad is because he's a full-blown capitalist. I read his book and there's some good stuff in it, but he's a full-blown capitalist. And he's like, oh God. The thing I like about him is he's like, the government, don't trust the government. You know, when we got off the gold standard in 1971 or 72 or whatever, he goes, that was it. And so he's like, our leaders are off. He's been critical. I don't know what his political affiliation is. My guess is he's a Republican. He's friends with Trump, but he's just like, these nobody knows what they're doing. So when I hear a guy like that say it, and then like on Boom Bust, I hear him say it, and I watch Max Kaiser and just other people, not just Richard Wolff. I mean, Richard Wolff the last couple of months has been like, oh God, it's coming. It's coming. So from Wolff all the way to the hardline capitalists, everyone's saying the same thing. So when that happens, the brunch crowd is going to be forced into the streets. I think when you put the quote in here, I think Lenin said it. Every peasant is 3 missed meals away from becoming a revolutionary. So when they don't have food, when they don't have money, when everything's been shut down and there's the government's not helping them and they think Biden is going to come to the rescue and he doesn't. And then there's cops, federal cops that are under Biden's domain are beating the shit out of them and arresting people with no due process. And there's martial law. Then they're going to go, oh, wow. So they're going to have a very short-lived brunch if that happens. If you live in Alaska, Jesse Ventura is #1 on your ballot. punch, one for Ventura. This race is close and you could swing it. Yeah, I cannot make that point enough. In Alaska, Jesse Ventura and Cynthia McKinney are the Green Party candidates for president and vice president. You don't even have to write them in. They are on the ballot. Imagine how the shockwaves that would send if he just won Alaska. It's only 4 electoral votes, but it would be amazing. It would be amazing. And it would shut up all the Jill Stein voters helped Trump, because it'd be like, no, Alaska's a red state. And it went from red to green. Oh, maybe there's a bunch of people in Alaska that are conservative on certain issues. Maybe there's a bunch of Second Amendment environmentalists up there, which I know there are. Some of you are in the chat. These people that believe in the Second Amendment, but they also like to hunt and fish. And they voted for Ventura over Trump and definitely over Biden. That would shake up a lot of stuff. That would be fantastic. So if you live in Alaska or have friends or family in Alaska, tell them to vote for Jesse Ventura and Cynthia McKinney. Hope everyone has a little food storage in the next 2 months. Could get bumpy. Yep. Stock up, buy a bag of rice, beans, stuff like that. Yes, Trump is a cult leader. His followers act like a cult leader. All cult leaders are like insane narcissists. I've watched all these documentaries on all these different cults, even the ones they always start out, oh, it was a hippie. We all got together. We're going to do yoga to save the world. And then it's usually some guy drunk with power, and he starts fucking all of everybody and making everybody do creepy shit. This NXIVM asshole. The concept of NXIVM was, we're going to save the world and change your thoughts. And they're all narcissists. And Trump is it's a cult leader, man. Okay. Let's make sure I didn't. Oh, there are some super chats. Pasta? Are you up? You want to come on the show, brother? I'm going to send pastas in the chat. Pasta, you want to come on the show, brother? I'll send you a chat link right now, man. Text me, dude. If you're still up and want to come on the show, text me and I'll send you a link. This is how we do indie media. Hey, dude, want to come on the show? They don't do this on CNN. Anderson Cooper goes, oh, dude, text me. I'll bring you on. So indie media gets thrown. Thoughts on Glenn Greenwald leaving The Intercept? Ooh, yes. Let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that for sure. I know I saw that. I want to. Susie Dawson tweeted about it. Yes. All right. Hold on, I'm just teeing this up. Spark A, Shaver Knuckles or Justice. Trump wins, the fad's over in 4 years, and progressives have a chance. If Biden wins, establishment wins, and it'll be over for progressives for 16 years. Yeah, it's a good there's that potential. Trump wins and it radicalizes even more people, and then it's like maybe California breaks away that way. I don't know. It's going to be crazy the next couple of weeks, man. It's going to be crazy. Spark A, boom. Establishment holds Trump hostage so they control him, but Biden and Kamala are their willing pawns, kind of the same, but there's a difference. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Trump wants to do more crazy shit, but they're like, easy, buddy. Whereas, yeah, Biden and Kamala are like, we'll do whatever you guys want us to do. We're all down with the deep state. Craig Pasta Jardula, check out Combo Couch. Graham, where do we meet you if the shit hits the fan on Tuesday after the election? Ooh, stay safe next week, guys. Everybody stay safe. I'm in a secure, undisclosed location. Everybody stay safe. Oh. All right, let's do this segment. Pasta, if you're still watching, text me, dude, and I'll send you a link and you can come on the show and we'll talk. But maybe you're like smoking weed in your underwear or something. I don't know. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Well, big news today in indie media. Glenn Greenwald talks about why he stepped down from The Intercept. Now, when I first started doing this show 3.5 years ago, The Intercept was a place I would do at least several videos a week based on an Intercept article and would talk about it because they were doing amazing journalism. And Glenn Greenwald was and still is amazing. But I haven't gone to The Intercept as much lately, the last 2 years, because they started to get some big corporate money, and then that kills it. That killed TYT, and that killed The Intercept. So this is what Glenn had to say. Went on Tucker Carlson today because they're the only place that'll have him. So Glenn Greenwald, quick history. He was calling out George Bush and the war crimes and the lying of the Iraq war. Everybody on the left loved him. When he called out the war crimes and everything else of Obama and Biden, the left was like, oh, he's a blah, blah. So now he's this Russian puppet that, is a Fox Newsy or whatever they call him. So, but this just shows you his ethics. I don't know Glenn personally, but I respect his work.
How do you maintain a democratic system when reality itself has been banned? That's something we're going to have to figure out. Glenn Greenwald has thought a lot about that question. Greenwald is a traditional leftist. He's committed above all to forcing transparency on people who hold power. Years ago, Greenwald co-founded a news site called The Intercept. Today, he resigned. In a statement, Greenwald explained why. Quote, "The Intercept's editors, in violation of my contractual right of editorial freedom, censored an article I wrote this week, refusing to publish it unless I removed all sections critical of Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden, the candidate vehemently supported by all New York-based Intercept editors involved in this effort at suppression." And he went on. Greenwald's full statement is up tonight at an internet platform called Substack, which is not yet censored. No matter who you plan to vote for next week, we recommend that you read it. Glenn Greenwald joins us tonight. Glenn, thanks so much for coming on. The idea of you resigning from a news organization you helped found is stunning. Tell us why you did.
Well, the news organization that I co-created was in 2013 at the height of the Snowden reporting. I left The Guardian to do it because I was seeing that there were a lot of constraints imposed on journalism and our ability to report freely against governments, against power centers, against all kinds of institutions that wield authority. And the premise of the news outlet the core overarching premise, the reason it was created was to ensure that journalists would always have complete journalistic independence and editorial freedom, never have to pull punches journalistically or pay homage to pieties because of the preferences, the partisan or ideological preferences of editors or of anybody else. That was the core founding idea and vision. And then that is what makes it so amazing that at the very outlet that I co-created, that was built on my reputation, my credibility, my journalistic accomplishments, then tried to intervene to censor me 6 days before an election because I wanted to publish reporting and analysis about the evidence that raises serious questions about the conduct of the candidate that all of the editors at that outlet vehemently and enthusiastically support.
I would imagine that some of our viewers don't read The Intercept. You live outside our country, which is one of the reasons I think you say what you think is true. Tell us what this portends for the future here in the United States.
So The Intercept was actually for a while a unique publication, and I think the vision I just described is one reason, but another was that it was intended above all else to be highly skeptical of the claims of intelligence agencies. At the time when we were doing the reporting, the attacks were coming from the NSA, the CIA, the deep state against me, against my source, Edward Snowden, and against the reporting. And we knew they were lying constantly and disseminating propaganda in a very powerful way. So we set out to say, we're going to investigate them. We're going to be skeptical of them. We're going to subject their assertions to critical scrutiny. And I am so embarrassed and angered that the...
So let's just get real quick here. He started The Intercept in 2013 to cover Edward Snowden. This is when people started to fractionalize off, because the Snowden thing happened under Obama, and people like me who voted for Obama thought, well, Obama's going to do the right thing. Snowden, he's going to free Snowden. No, that's when you really got to see, as Obama was ramping up the bombing and the wars, especially in his second term, you got to see, like, wait a minute, this isn't lefty stuff to do what you're doing to Snowden. And calling out the intelligence community, that's the permanent state. People always for the Democrats and the Republicans, the CIA is always there. The intelligence community, the NSA, they're always there. We don't vote in who's in the CIA. We don't even get to vote on what kind of budget they get. And he was calling that out. That's what made The Intercept so powerful. They called out the bullshit on anybody, the Bushes, the Obamas, the Clintons, Trump, everybody. That's what made it like, oh, real journalism. Because Tucker Carlson, if he really went after Trump hard, he probably would get blowback from his Fox people. Absolutely. If he called out real corruption of Trump and his cabinet, they would hold him back. And he knows it. When he talks to Glenn Greenwald, deep down, he knows it. You watch him. That's why he has such reverence for Glenn Greenwald, because he's like, oh, man, we can only bring Greenwald on when he's calling out Democrats. But if he calls out Trump, we can't have him on. So let's go back to hear what he has to say.
Outlet that I created along with two other excellent journalists to do that. The only article it published about all of these documents that have emerged about Joe Biden, other than a column of mine where I denounced Facebook and Twitter for censoring it, was an article that made reference in passing to those documents very snidely and dismissively to say that no one should pay attention to it because it was Russian disinformation, and it cited a letter from John Brennan, James Clapper, Mike Hayden, and the rest of the goons from the CIA and the intelligence community asserting it. And worse still, that letter said, we have no evidence that Russia's involved in any of this. The Intercept omitted that phrase, simply cited that letter to try and encourage people to ignore this evidence on the grounds that Russia had manufactured it and that the evidence was fabricated, even though there's never been any evidence for that's been true. And everything since has disproven it, showing Russia was not involved in any of this. And nobody, certainly not even Joe Biden, disputes that these emails and other text messages are completely real and authentic.
It's horrifying. So what you're watching is agencies of the U.S. government turning their awesome and unconstrained powers against the American population.
This is the real story of the last 4 years of the Trump administration, which is that for a long time on the left, there was a healthy skepticism of the CIA.
Yes, there was.
There was a lot of anti-war activism in the Bush and Cheney years. That has all disappeared. And the reason it's disappeared is because the CIA, from the very first days of the Trump administration, even before he was inaugurated, devoted themselves to sabotaging the administration because Donald Trump questioned just a few of their pieties. And that can't be done in Washington. Whoever does that must be destroyed. And so the CIA and the deep state operatives became heroes of the liberal left, the people who support the Democratic Party. They're now in a full union with the neocons, the Bush Cheney operatives, the CIA, Silicon Valley, and Wall Street. That is the union of power, along with mainstream media outlets that are fully behind the Democratic Party, which is likely to at least take over one branch of government, if not all of them, in the coming election. And that is a very alarming proposition because they're authoritarian, they believe in censorship, and they believe in suppression of information that exposes them in any kind of a critical light.
For a U.S. government agency to try and disseminate propaganda within the United States, I mean, is there any clearer attack on democracy than that?
So when we were doing the Snowden reporting, one of the things that induced Edward Snowden to come forward as someone who had worked in the CIA and the NSA was his anger and horror that the tools of the NSA had been turned on the American people. They're supposed to spy on foreign adversary governments, but they weren't. They were collecting our phone records. Same with the CIA. They're trained disinformation agents. That's what they do. They lie for a living. But they're supposed to do that in other countries where we want to induce some sort of change, overthrow a government, topple a regime, whatever quote unquote interference the US government wants to do, the way we're also upset that Russia did in 2016. That's what they're trained to do. The law, though, and the obvious foundational prohibition on having a security state, a national security state after World War II, was it was never supposed to be turned domestically. They weren't supposed to be involved in our politics or disseminating propaganda. Go turn on any of those other cable networks or pick up the op-ed page of any of the biggest newspapers, and all you'll see are ex-members of the CIA, the DOJ, the FBI, the NSA, telling Americans what they ought to believe. They've infiltrated the means of communication domestically. They do it through leaks. They do it through clandestine operations and through lies. They propagandize the American people in a way that is incredibly dangerous, no matter what your ideology is.
I totally agree. And I'm ashamed of the times that I made apologies for those agencies or this behavior. I really am. You are telling the truth. That's really clear. Glenn Greenwald, congratulations on getting out of there. Good to see you.
So did you just hear that? Tucker Carlson just apologized for the times that he's talked about how great the NSA and the CIA is. I'm pretty sure Fox News is pretty pro NSA and pretty pro CIA. But he can't argue. This is the thing about the truth. Unless you're just a crazy cult member, probably, and there's a million things to be critical of Tucker Carlson of. He said racist things. He said just crazy shit. But this is how, and I want to put, this is a thing I try to do on this show. When you're critical, okay, you're a Fox News viewer, right? You're probably pro-Trump. You probably think Antifa is some evil, this and that and the other thing. And you probably think, yeah, the NSA and CIA aren't that bad or whatever. So here's this guy who's a journalist who maybe you've never heard of, or you think whatever, maybe you heard The Intercept is just some sort of lefty, blah, blah, blah. And you hear how he's calling out the Democratic Party working with the CIA. You're going to have to listen to that. And that's the thing. I don't like Trump. He's very authoritarian. He's a narcissist, and he is full-on fascist for sure because he's a narcissist. But you cannot argue the fact that he has said he ran on an anti-interventionist campaign. Now, he hasn't. He's still bombing 7 countries. Everyone's like, he never started a new war. Oh, wow. He'd give him the Gandhi Award because he didn't add an 8th war. Wow, that's great. So Trump is no lefty peacenik hero, but you can't deny this stuff. And Glenn Greenwald is absolutely true. When you call out the intelligence community, even slightly, they clamp down on you. Even as much of a right-wing pro-war guy Trump is. They tried to push Trump into war with Iran. And he wouldn't. They tried to false flag, and he still wouldn't. They really want him to. The fact that he won't And his reasons are probably like, I'm going to build a resort outside of Tehran. Well, I don't want to bomb it. It's probably some psycho Trump reason. I want to put a golf course in the Red Sea or whatever nonsense he's got. But that goes against the war military industrial complex, as Glenn Greenwald said. So, sorry, I will not support The Intercept ever again. I supported it because of Glenn Greenwald. I'm done. You can't be critical of Joe Biden 6 days ahead of an election. And the thing that's such bullshit is if Glenn Greenwald there's all this stuff to be critical of Trump of. He could be impeached right now today for the emoluments clause, which is the thing they put in the Constitution where foreign governments can't invest in any investments that the president has. Well, they've bought condos for Trump, whatever the thing is, they've given money to Trump's corporation, and you can't do that after you become president. You have to actually, if I'm not mistaken, you have to get yourself out of there financially when you become the nominee or something like, you can't do it. And all these China, these countries, Russia, they've spent all this money with Trump's corporations. And so they could get him out for that reason, but they're not, because they're all as corrupt with that too. Mad respect for Glenn Greenwald. Mad respect for him. And I got to give Tucker Carlson props. He says some stupid racist shit. The wall's good. He loves ICE and whatever else, but I'll give him props on that. Boom. Shave your knuckles for justice. Sam Dean, what's up, brother? Sorry to be dark, but what are your own personal fears for the next 20 years of American government, climate change, and global financial instability? Well, as it stands now, I don't think the United States as it is today will exist 20 years from now. It'll be some different version. Some states will break off. It'll have a different type of government. Maybe there'll be 5 or 6 countries within the United States. If that happens, like in Hawaii, they're big on Hawaiian sovereignty. Hawaii was stolen from the Hawaiian royal family in the late 1800s by the United States government. Stolen. So there's a big sovereignty movement in the state of Hawaii. I think Hawaii would get their sovereignty back. I think you're going to, in the next 20 years, you're not going to, the way America is today, the 50 states, it's not going to look this way in 20 years from now. I think that there's a huge financial collapse coming within the next 3 to 12 months. And it's going to be cataclysmic. I hear all these financial experts talk, and they're like, there's a economic meteor coming, and it's exacerbated by the pandemic and the economic shutdown and everything. But we've printed, the Federal Reserve has printed something like $9 trillion in the last 7 months. So they put all this money into circulation. I mean, they're devaluing the dollar. There's the 90-year cycle of the stock market crash, right? Every 90 years, the market crashes. So 90 years before 1929, there was that tulip thing or whatever. And they're saying we're due for that. And then you've got climate collapse. So America and the world is at a turning point. And like an addict has to hit rock bottom. And an addict either hits rock bottom and goes, holy shit, I got to clean up my life. And they do that. And they point to that day and go, man, that's when I hit rock bottom, and now I'm sober and things are better. And America's going to hit rock bottom. And what could come out of it is the America we've always wanted. Maybe 20 years from now, America is this lefty utopia, because we saw how awful it got when it got so right wing and so war and so toxic capitalist that people went, no, we need some good old fashioned democratic socialism. And 20 years from now, America is this beautiful country that's leading the way with climate change. And with fighting climate change, like it's 20 years from now, it's just green energy everywhere. And we've helped reverse climate change and all these jobs and great healthcare and low crime. And people are just like awesome, loving it. Or America and the world are on its last legs. I don't know what it's going to be. I hope it's the former. but it's a valid question, Sam. Jesse Ventura is an official write-in. This means your votes will count in Alabama, California, Iowa, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington, D.C., and Wyoming. If you're in one of those states and you don't want to vote for either of these two candidates, write in Jesse Ventura. Some people voted for Howie Hawkins. Do that. Vote for the Peace and Freedom Party. You know, I'm all for it. Because what I'm going to do when the election's over, I'm going to total up all the independent votes, especially like Green, Peace and Freedom, write in Jesse. I'm going to total all those up and say, look at how many. In Sacramento, there are wait lists for homeless encampments. Joke. You have to leave town to walk your dog without encampments. Oh, yeah. The homeless issue in California is in LA. It's unbelievable. It's the worst I've ever seen. I've lived in LA for 25 years. It's the worst I've ever seen. It was awful before the pandemic. And it is the numbers. I don't know what they are. It looks to me like they've doubled, but I don't know. I'm in Indiana. Ventura sounds better. Yeah. Jesse Ventura is also on the ballot in California. We have 276 watching, 195 likes. Hit the like button, kids. Hit the like button. Graham, do you know anything about the IRS adding a question to the tax statement that requires one to state whether they bought crypto in the previous year? I've heard some rumblings about that, but I'm not sure if it's really happening. It could be because I think they're starting to go, oh, man, we need to get our paws on that. Oh, just got a texty text from Pasta. Sam Dean, boom. Sorry to be dark, but what are your own personal fears? Oh, I already answered that one. Sorry to be dark, but I don't have personal fears. Jill James Bavel, what's Gil? When the shelves at supermarkets are empty, you know. Yep. Pollution has been getting better since the lockdown. Sparky, boom. Tucker's at Fox to give them cred so they can be controlled opposition. They suck like the rest of the legacy media. Oh, for sure. I'm a hothead. Hothead shouldn't own guns. If I can't take you out with a broadsword, then I'm toast. Yeah, Tucker did let Jimmy expose the duopoly. Tucker will bring somebody on there that's exposing stuff, provided they're exposing Democratic duopoly crime. They're not going to let, I don't think he'd let me on, but you never know. Marco Smith, boom. Jesse Ventura is on the ballot with Cynthia McKinney in Alaska. No need to write in. Absolutely correct. So we listed all the write-in states, but if you live in Alaska, this is important. If Jesse Ventura wins the state of Alaska, it sends a huge message to a lot of people. It sends a huge message to a lot of people. Thank you, Nicole. I'd love it if Tucker had me on a show. I'd love to go on that show. I'll go on any show to talk when I'm, if it's a reasonable show, it's not some clown car. I'll do it. Whoa. All right, let's send Pasta Jardula a link. No, that's not what. No StreamYard. No StreamYard. All right, Pasta. Here you go, brother. I don't think I got an email for you, dude. I'm going to send it to you via text. Kate might have gone. No, Kate's still up. Okay, cool. Punch one if you're in Alaska. Sparky, boom. Don't fool yourself. Biden will start more wars and carpetbagging operations than Obama. At least Obama stopped at Syria. Ventura McKinney 2020. Yeah, you got that right. There's no good option. Tuesday between the two big ones. Sam Dean, boom. I have done more for black communities. What do you have to say about this blanket statement from Trump? Very interested in your take. I laughed out loud when I was watching the debates. I was like, it shows you how crazy he is. And also, he's just saying that to give his cult base that they'll repeat whatever he says so they can go, he's done more for the black. Like, black people must have been falling out of their chairs laughing. Like, what has he done? Where is it? He just says these things and his audience believes them. There's no legislation. And you can go through his speeches in 2016 and as president, all this racist stuff, just flat out racist. We're going to need our Second Amendment, friends. Proud Boys, stand by, stand back, stand by. I mean, he's endorsed by the KKK. He's done nothing for the black community. Neither did Obama. Neither did the Clintons. Neither did Bush. No, but the Democrats just take that voter block for granted. He just says crazy. He's a crazy narcissist. He's never wrong. You can say he has narcissistic personality disorder. Like, it's a disorder. Like, somebody with narcissistic personality disorder they physically can't admit they're wrong. They can't do it. They can't admit they're wrong. So he can't, he just says crazy shit. Everything has to be about them. If somebody's doing better than them, they have to take that person down. Like, read up on that narcissistic personality disorder. Not just like, oh, somebody who looks himself in the mirror too much and you call him a narcissist. I mean, it is a personality disorder. I'm almost confident Hillary has it. I mean, it is a disorder, and those type of people usually, rise to power or whatever. My mom is a female Trump. Yep, they're out there. Greetings from Toronto. You're doing great work, Ramp. Thank you. Donald Trump's administration strips gray wolves of endangered species protection, which could allow hunting in battleground states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Oh, God. God, imagine if Jesse Ventura became president. That would be amazing. Pasta, I sent you the link. We have pastas. Pasta, I'm also emailing you the link. I do have your email address. God, I get so many stupid emails from the Democrats every day. My inbox is just, this is what I get for donating to Tulsi and Bernie. Now they have all my email. They just send me all this bullshit morning, noon, and night. Bullshit. Tangira Hayes, thoughts on Bezos potentially buying CNN? Yeah. It's just more of him controlling everything because he's a psychopath too. So, Chris, I'm glad you made the switch to big tech or to Rockfin. Yeah, thanks to everybody watching over on the Rockfin. Hello, and everybody on the Facebook. What's up? Free Julian Assange. You got that right. Come to Australia. We'll go surfing waves. You got that light. I've never been up to Brisbane, and I hear the surfing up there is rad. I want to go to Byron Bay. Everyone says Byron Bay is the shit. So I want to surf up there for sure. Oh, I see Craig Pasta Jardula in the chat. We're going to bring him on in a second, folks. Sparky, shave your knuckles for justice. Truman was an outward racist, but his integration of the military was a massive step toward integration in the civilian world. He also wasn't keen on the CIA. Yep, that's a good point. Tony Sprugeon, shave your knuckles for justice. Hey, Graham, if you had to put money on it right now, does Trump or Biden win? Oh, boy. I was going to bet on it. Probably right now it looks like Biden, I think. But it's tough to say. We're going to bring on Pasta here from the Convo Couch in a second, and we're going to see what his thoughts on that are. We're going to start taking bets. No, I'm kidding. Sam Dean, boom. How do you personally feel that banks will more than likely go unpunished for the nonsense over the last 10 years since the global financial crisis? Well, I'm obviously not happy about that at all because they stole my home. But what's going to happen is there's going to be a run on the banks. Again, all these financial experts. Christy Ives talked about that. We've had her on the show twice now. There's going to be a run on the banks. So that's another reason why I'm really like getting into crypto. And I hear other people talking about crypto and gold and silver is because, you know, if you got $5,000 in the bank's going to go, sorry, we can only give you $500. So the banks run this country. They run the world. It's awful. And there's a reckoning coming. Kate, what's up, Kate? Thoughts about Carlson's lost and found documents sent via UPS? Carlson's? I'm not sure familiar what that is. What is that? Carlson's lost and found documents sent via UPS? What does that mean, Kate? I'm lost on that. Sorry. Maybe it's something obvious and I just missed it. You send me that. Well, first we're going to say hi to A Mares. What's up, A Mares? So sorry, moving. Nothing works but the router. I just manhandled. LOL. Love you, Graham. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry, A Mares. Hope you had a safe move or in the process of having a safe move. And I'm glad you're able to watch the show. I know it's getting late there for you folks in the Midwest and the East Coast. Sparky, you missed my earlier super chat about Trumpers supporting Bernie and Tulsi. Oh, I did. Where was that? Let's find that. Let me read that real quick and then I'll big Oh, yeah, Sparky, boom. Trumpers would have gone for Tulsi or Bernie. Bernie sold out to the establishment 4 years ago and Tulsi dropped out, leaving an establishment stooge. I absolutely agree with that. And that's the thing. And I think the Democratic establishment knew that. That's why they were so afraid of Bernie. That's why a Bernie Tulsi ticket would have swept them up because it would have brought in a lot of Trumpers. There's the diehard culty ones that are Trump ride or die, but some of the Trumpers, yes, it would have brought in the libertarians. It would have brought in all those 100 million people that don't vote. That's a fantastic thing. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that, Sparky. Faux shizzle. All right. He's patiently waiting. It looks like he's got a beer in his hand. Graham, please talk about Nagorno-Karabakh. I will. We've talked about that a lot. I have several videos about the Azerbaijan bombing Armenia, but let's bring on Pasta. Oh. All right. From the Convo Couch, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's bring on Pasta.
What's up, dude?
All right.
You got me on. Yeah, I can hear
From the Convo Couch, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring on Pasta.
Pasta, can you shut down so we don't hear me?
Make sure I got you muted over there. What's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm good, brother. What's
now
up?
I can't hear you.
Shut down so we don't hear me.
Make sure I got you muted over
So now,
let me. I think I got the volume over here down. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go. Convo Couch.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Convo
Can you hear me?
Couch.
Well, see, now I'm
I
hearing
think this
myself in
stupid
an echo,
thing
dude.
didn't work. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This will work now. I can never get that thing to work. I got this little stupid microphone. It's just not working. It won't let me hear you as I'm doing. But you can hear me good now, right?
I can hear you now. You can hear me?
Crystal clear, my man. But I really am sorry I took so long because I know you sold out to Big Kale, and I was like blanching some black kale over there, so I had to pat it dry each one. You know, I wanted to do you well since you're a big kale guy. So that's
Yeah, well,
where I was. How you doing, buddy? Great to see you.
I'm good, man. How's everything going at the Convo Couch? Last time we had you on the show, you guys have been taken down. You had a week of copyright striking or whatever. What's been going on since then?
Well, we got back on. We're still prepping. We're going to release our commercial, I think, either tonight or tomorrow for the election day. Election day and the day after, if there is a day after, I think it's going to be going on. Unless I'm trying to find you in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. Remember, I can cook. So if the zombie apocalypse happens, you need me, Graham. But we're going to be doing our big coverage special. We're going to go 14 hours on election day. We're going to start at 10 a.m. We're going to go to midnight that night. We're going to stream on all our platforms, Rockfin, YouTube, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. And we're actually going to Vegas where our old producers, the first producers of the Convo Couch that helped us out, are producing a special day for us. So we're going to have all the bells and whistles. People like Shahid Buttar on, you know, and Tim Canova will be on that day. And we'll do some independent media. Dick Medhurst will be joining us. And we're hoping that Graham Elwood and Ron Pacone will come in and wet their beaks. So that's our big thing we're talking about that day and the next day. And we're just getting ready for it, baby.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I'm glad you guys are going to that cool studio in Vegas. I remember the first time I was on your show, you had a very nice studio. I think it's good that you're going to be out in the desert. So if shit goes down, you're going to be able to
I know, right?
bring a bag of rice with you and, you know, some water or whatever. Yeah, it's so let me ask you this. I mean, obviously you all follow this very closely. The polls are saying, oh, Biden's looking like he's going to win. I don't know. And obviously it's going to be chaos either way, but how do you see this playing out?
Well, honestly, if it was legit election, I think that Donald Trump would win in a landslide. Just simply watch his rallies where people are getting left out in the cold. They're trying to make fun of him for that, but it's like there's so many freaking people that they can't even get him out of the rallies. Meanwhile, you see Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, even with Barack Obama, nothing, no enthusiasm, no excitement. The Hunter Biden stuff, I don't even understand how it doesn't play at all right now because it's just like, you know, have you been watching this stuff every day? I mean,
well, the media is just flat out stop. They're censoring it. You cannot talk about Hunter Biden. I mean, look, Glenn Greenwald just stepped down from The Intercept because they censored his article. So it's like, there's this like nationwide clampdown. You can't be critical of Joe Biden. I mean, my numbers, my subscription number has dropped. That's never happened to me.
I know.
In the 3.5 years I've been doing this. It's like,
well, we got a little bit of that too as well. And right now, let's say we're doing some of our best work that I think we've been doing. We've been on the ground. We've been covering this election. We got a little trickleation up on subscribers. But, you know, that strike they got us, that was a week of finances they took away from us. For what? Talking about Wayfair. The first warning was the election. Now, I don't know if you've been watching it, but the Senate hearing the other day with the three lords of censorship, I call them, Jack Dorsey from Twitter, Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, and Pichai from Google, they were summoned to the Senate floor for what was going on with the whole Hunter Biden thing. And let me tell you something, Graham, and this is really, I'm losing sleep over this right now. I mean, the Democrats are all in for censorship. They're all about propaganda. They won't stop with Russiagate. I mean, the Hunter Biden thing is like they're allowing this guy at any given time, any time in the history of America, if a president did anything remotely like this or was tied to this with the money lines that are there, that admitted he wanted the prosecutor fired in Ukraine, they would be gone, no way, nothing. But they don't even care, these Democrats. These Democrats are awful. And I am afraid that if, from what I saw on that Senate floor, another 3.5 hour Senate floor thing, I mean, Graham, they are pushing for censorship hard. They are mad that Facebook hasn't taken down more posts. I asked Kamala Harris in Long Beach at the Democratic convention if she would still go along with taking away and suspending Donald Trump's Twitter, and I phrased it as all us First Amendment absolutists are a little bit nervous about that, about you censoring speech there. Do you still want to stick to that position? Yeah, of course I am. It's a private company. He has no right to badger a witness. he called the person stupid. That's not badgering or threatening a witness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm going to sleep here going, oh my God, am I hoping that Donald Trump beats Joe Biden? Because if all this other shit, Joe Biden becomes president, think about how hard they are working to suppress that information right now. Okay. What's going to happen when he gets in? Okay. What's going to happen? So there's censorship, the election stuff, Graham, down in LA today, looking at the whole process. They're scanning ballots already. Like, we're not counting. It's like, we're smart enough to know because we're tied to a certain lawsuit. We read the manual. A scan is a count. It scans and counts it right away. They can go into the back end. They have early information. They can cheat this fucking election. The Democrats are still pushing that narrative. Like, there's nothing that can go wrong. And our elections are like systemically broken across the board. They are bad. So, I mean, I'm going to sleep, Graham, going, holy shit. Am I really hoping that the fucking pussy grabber becomes president because I am that, like, this Democratic Party? Oh my God. It was scary what they were doing. It was pushing for censorship. All of them, every single one of them. Now, half the Republicans were saying that you're censoring the wrong person, that they should be censoring the dictator of Iran or the Chinese Communist Party. But there was about 3 of them that were pretty good. You know, Senator Thune from South Dakota talking about what you would know about. It's called what is it called? Content moderation, which is the process and how they moderate your content. You know, and Senator Thune he has a bill that says this has to be transparent. You can no longer take somebody down. You can't give the political vigilante a strike without explaining exactly what happens. And you are now innocent until proven guilty. In other words, due process. In the intranet world, we are guilty until we prove ourselves innocent to get the strike off. So there were a couple of Republicans talking about that stuff, kind of talking about the fact that they paid billions in dollars in lawsuits when it comes to this moderation, this content moderation. But really, I'm telling you, and also I watched Whitney Webb's election special. If you really want to not sleep tonight, wow. I mean, it's up on Rockfin right now for free. I mean, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. That's why I'm drinking a beer right now, because it's like, I got to fucking settle my nerves over here, man. This is like, we're 5-6 days out. They're already threatening to take down our stations. Listen, I'm speaking at a high level because I'm fucking stressed out here. I was listening to your show to try to calm down, and you just got me all worked up over here, man. Sorry. Glenn Greenwald's quitting because the one apparatus that we had that was going against the deep state and calling him out is now going to Joe Biden all the time, right? This is scary, man. What are they going to mandate mask with Joe Biden? We're going to stay in. We have to take the vaccine. That's next. I'm coming to Hawaii. I'm swimming there if I got it. I don't
know. Yeah, I mean, it's like
there's
no good option here with either one of these. And I think I mean, to talk about Chris Hedges, like, the American empire is collapsing, and it's not, regardless of who wins on Tuesday or whether that's drawn out. It really seems like, as you know, when I had Whitney Webb on the show a couple of weeks ago, it really just seems like the whole goal is to get us into some crazy civil war. And I'm not sure if they're like, I mean, Walmart just announced they're pulling all the guns off shelves. So Walmart will not be selling guns until after the election. So
too late. It's too late.
It is too late.
Everybody's armed to the T out there, Graham. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And Whitney Webb, you know, she predicted shit going down in Philadelphia. Like, she totally talked about it. You know, crazy. I've had my show for 3 years, you know, the Combo Couch, Fiorella, Johnny and I, and everything like that. And it's been amazing to dive into it, you know, and be able to talk about politics and social issues all the time and be an activist and get out of the street. It's amazing. But, you know, I've always paid attention to politics. I've never seen anything. I mean, I feel like I'm trapped in a cheesy science fictional shit that's happened on Earth. What's next? The aliens and the lizards are coming next? I mean, the laptop, the Chinese thing, it's one thing after another. And
there's
mind blown.
Empires, this is how empires collapse, but we've never had an empire with this much technology and weaponry. There's never been an empire like this. and never had an empire with this deep of an intelligence apparatus. Even the KGB is as wide-reaching as the KGB was. There was nothing like the CIA and the NSA, and the amount of money that they've been given in the last 19 years since the Patriot Act, since 9/11, which is what Whitney Webb talked about. They said we need some type of Pearl Harbor type event. They talked about that in a couple months before 9/11. And here we are, and this is their end game, and so it's pretty nuts. And I think I'm worried America's just going to go up and smoke, and then they're going to go. Their final chess move is like, oh, martial law, and now there's no more. You have no rights. There's no due process. There's no court case. There's no nothing. We can just kick in your door, take you. Oh, you're a threat to security. Oh, security threat. We can make that up for any reason, and then you have all these people armed to the teeth, just who are going to say no. And if society collapses, then it's just like whoever has the most guns. I don't know.
Did I mention I could cook? So I'm part of any clan that goes around. Like, if it's gonna get like The Walking Dead, where it's just clans roaming out there and shit, whoever has the best guns, I can cook. And I'm a vegan, so I'll cook off the land over there. Yeah, it's crazy, Graham. I mean, it really is. And I really we've been out there in the streets too, as lately too. Johnny went out there the other day, captured more stuff when the Dodgers won the pennant, and there was a big thing going on for the Philadelphia thing. And down in horses in the street in LA, it looked like chaos again. It's just like it was like a mini snapshot of what it's going to really be like, once shit hits the fan. And make no mistake of it, nobody is really given any solutions, not in a bill, not in an executive order, when it comes to renters and mortgage people and one house owners or two house owners. Like, you got your shit taken away from you from Barack Obama. It's only so many times the Fed and the deep state and the elites can pull this shit before people start ending up in the street with pitchforks. But, the thing is that I'm a little scared because looks like almost like a civil war out there of sorts. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of split groups right now. I think if Biden loses, there won't be rioting in the streets. I think a lot of lefties will go, man, this sucks, man. They're like, come on, let's take to the streets. Like, I ain't getting in the streets because Biden lost. He sucked anyways. Let's just go work on something else. You know what I'm saying? Let's work on a movement. But if Biden wins and Trump loses, all that Hunter Biden shit that's been coming out now, and I'm talking the pedophilia pictures and all that shit that was in just today, which they released with a blurred out picture of his Johnny, in his hands over there with a minor in the back and stuff. It almost seems like they're setting that up to fuel to piss these people off. If they lose the election, they'll think it's stolen from them and they'll hit the streets. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm nervous about. I really am. You know what I'm saying? So, and when they go, oh, there's going to be a civil war. Well, I ain't going to fight against those doomsday preppers out there and shit. Fuck that noise. I ain't going against them, Graham. No way. But, wow. Yeah.
It's crazy. I just said when whoever wins, there's going to be chaos in the streets either way. And if it's undecided Tuesday night into Wednesday and it just drags on for several weeks, then it's really going to get crazy. And I think, if Trump wins, I don't know that the left is going to go, nah, we're done. I think they're going to go, maybe they'll get more radicalized. Maybe they'll get more, I don't know. Maybe they'll just start tearing stuff down. I don't know. And if Biden wins, the Trump people are going to go nuts. If Trump wins again, I was saying earlier on the show, that's maybe when California goes, okay, we're done. We're seceding. We're out. America, go. We have the 5th largest economy in the world. Bye-bye. Like we can take care of everything. We have the 5th largest economy in the world. We have produce, we have tech, we have entertainment, and we even have defense contracting. So I think America as we know it is not going to, it's going to be in a different form in 5 to 10 years from now. In one form or another. It's not going to be, it's just not going to exist the way it is. It's not going to be the 50 states. There might be 5 or 6 new countries,
Yeah. Everything it seems to be happening like now. Like we're stuck in the now. Like the now is now. Like all that time just waiting to come up was just like, the pot was just getting warm, but it just seems like either way now it's just going to boil over. It's going to boil over bad too. So, I mean,
Yeah, you've got the evictions coming. You've got the commercial real estate bubble that's going to collapse. You've got the the regular real estate bubble. You've got all these bubbles that are coming set to collapse, and they're all going to collapse around the same time. And then the banks are going to collapse, and there's going to be a run on the banks. So it's going to just be nuts.
Yeah. Get your cryptos, baby. Get your cryptos. Rockfin, 85 cents was 40 cents a couple months ago. All that money in the Rockfin bank just doubled. So if you had 10,000, it's now worth 20,000. And it's good to just wet your beak, because I think Graham's been talking about some serious people who know about finance lately. And I want to commend you for getting those people on your show. It's really, really important. I'm glad we're starting to get the MMT people in, and also the crypto and the Cindy Eyes. And, I watch Max Kaiser. It's important. I tell my mom, I'm like, Mom, you have some real estate. You got 2 pieces of property now. You got a lot of money invested in the American stock market. Just take a little bit out, wet your beak. God forbid something happens. Have a little Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up a little bit too as well. So, yeah, wet your beak.
Bitcoin is going up 30% in a month.
Yep. I have a little Bitcoin. So.
Yeah, I have Ray, I have Bitcoin, I have Ethereum, and everyone should have that. Oh, my thing just froze up.
And it froze in a very funny way. Everybody, wait, is it this way? No, it's this way. Look at Graham's face. Ah! Am I on the show by myself? I am. Hi, everybody. Pasta Jardula filling in for the political vigilante. Be vigilant, everybody. Shave your knuckles for justice. Who do we got out there? Graham's face is frozen. Hey, Harkin DeGray. I'm just holding it down for Graham over here. Nicole. How are you? Nancy Venture. Yes, we love you, Nancy Venture. See you. Nice. Amers. Entertain us, Pasta. That's what I'm doing right now, Amers. It's great to see you. Guys, if you haven't heard, I'm a vegan. It's the best thing in the world. Graham's kind of a vegan. I think he dips into a little honey here and there, but who cares? Being a vegan was one of the most amazing things I've ever done. It's the best choice I've ever made. And if you climate activists out there really want to do something, take away the supply and demand chain of meat, which is one of the biggest problems we have. I mean, most of our land now is being grazed for the cattle that is supposed to feed us. So when you unplug from that, you unplug from all that bullshit, and you really, really make a difference when it comes to climate change. And I think that's something that's beautiful. And plus, that's where racism starts. You always say that cow is a less species than us, that chicken's a less species than us, that other person's a less species than us. Just think about it. I mean, we should be loving to all loving things, right? That's why I wear the gorilla shirt. I'm having a good time. I know Graham talked about Glenn Greenwald today, and he did mention that he had to go on Tucker. Isn't it crazy that when a reporter like Glenn Greenwald, who released all the Snowden NSA documents, can only go on Tucker Carlson for the mainstream media, because CNN and MSNBC, straight propaganda, not allowed to have him on, not allowed to talk to him. So, I mean, I thought that was crazy today. I also talked about the Senate hearing. If you haven't got a chance, go back and watch it. It gets kind of creepy. I mean, the Democrats are pushing for actual more censorship. They haven't had enough censorship. They want more. So they keep pushing for censorship. I'm going to talk about Mr. Moran, Senator Moran, who's a senator from Kansas. He had a good speech over there, too, as well. He kind of pointed out the money spent to have all these lawsuits and whatnot, because they are really breaking Section 230 of the Communications Act, which says that they have to act as a platform and not a publisher. So they've gotten sued several times and had to pay. They try to keep this shit quiet, but they have gotten caught for it. So Senator Thorne, his speech was good. And then Ted Cruz. I mean, why nowadays? What kind of friggin' bizarro world is this? Graham Upwoods fans out there. What kind of world is it that we have to count on Ted Cruz to stick up against censorship, to stick up for freedom of speech? Ted Cruz. He told Jack Dorsey.
Hey, I'm back.
All right, good.
Were you entertaining
Who the
everybody?
hell elected you, Graham?
I just talking about Ted Cruz.
Did you watch my show?
No, I had to reboot everything.
Well, I filled in for the political vigilante. I did your voice, and I just went off for a while until you came back, man.
Nice. Well, thanks for Thanks for doing an impersonation of me. I appreciate it. Well, dude, great having you on the show, man. And
Yeah, get out of here now.
it's,
Graham, I love you. I don't want you to be a honey apologist anymore. I'm glad you went with Big Kale, not Big Honey, man.
Pasta's a new vegan, so new vegans are the worst. Now he's judging me because I use honey on occasion. So it's like,
we're circulating this honey film right now. It's crazy. We're like, get Graham on the line. Let him see it. Hey, Graham, really, I mean, I just had fun with your audience, but I really just want to tell you that it's awesome, not just to come on your show and to talk to you about these things. It's also great being a friend of yours. I miss you, man, and I really can't wait to see you. I enjoy just watching your show all the time. I mean, not only am I a friend, you know me, I'm a big fan. From the time I met you, I think you're one of the most compassionate guys. The team here, they love you. They're crazy about you, and I look forward to talking to you on election night when I'm a little bit more straight and professional, and you can crash our show and fuck it up like I just did to your show.
well, look, dude, man, I love what you guys are doing, and I really appreciate that, and I really miss. I mean, the lockdown has been so. I mean, we've gotten to see each other a little bit, but just I miss the live shows, the getting together. I mean, the coming, the parties at your guys' house. I mean, I know we had one and we're in masks and shit, but like, I really miss that community, that in person, which we all do. Everybody in this pandemic, we're all missing that in person stuff, and that like the protests we went to together and all that stuff. And it seems like everybody's kind of fractured and split apart. I don't know, but if California decides to secede, I'm there. I'm there, baby. I'll run for president of California.
Too many neoliberals here anyways, and I'm saying it's on to the next place. I can see all of us in Italy, and I'm saying kicking it in Italy. I did my DNA test. I'm 61% Italian. I'm trying to find cousins over there. Let's go. Let's go, man. So,
I don't think I got any Italian blood in me, but I'll marry a beautiful Italian woman if that's what it takes.
Oh man, they'll love you over there, my friend. Oh, this is the superhero. Nice.
I'm telling you, I'd marry an Italian and Portuguese or Australian woman in a heartbeat if it got me out of America.
We will have to do what we got to do, man. We got to do it. It's crazy too. What's going on over there? They're going nuts too. They had another lockdown and they went crazy and stuff. And by the way, man, you got the Nagorno-Karabakh situation. I got to talk to some people yesterday. Some Armenians from around town over here, some of my friends, and one of them was explaining to me that it's like the oligarchs or the elitists in Azerbaijan kind of prompted this particular president to start this war because there was a lot of pushback from his last political rival there and like uprising within Azerbaijan sorts. So to have like a nationalist distraction, like a George Bush kind of 9/11, let me get the attention off of me and put it over here, that they had done this to do so. That's why they seem like a coordinated time with Erdogan and Turkey, whatnot. So, I mean, it was very interesting when I got some of that information because it really slipped me. But and it's really a shame too because people are dying. Civilians.
It's awful. And I've have had some Armenian fans of the show and friends and stuff send me some information, and I've done a couple videos on it. And anyone watching the live stream, please check those out. And I've showed the money the United States feeds Israel weaponry and military, and they sell it to Azerbaijan. The United States also gives money to Turkey, which sells it to Azerbaijan. And this is also, so Turkey is helping push this too, because Turkey won't acknowledge the Armenian genocide from World War I, and they kind of want to finish them off. I mean, that's part of it. And Israel also won't acknowledge the Armenian genocide. So
yeah. You know something about that one of the gentlemen I spoke to was really getting enraged, and he said he's getting ready to go back to Armenia soon to possibly participate in this war, and he was really, really worked up, and he had said something like, in Armenian, my other friend said he was talking that Erdogan is sending jihadists to that area. You know what I'm saying? And he sent a bunch of jihadists to that area that were in Syria, and those are not the guys you want to be,
no.
Those are not the Cub Scouts. It's like all that times when people go, the Donald Trump thing is like, oh, he said Proud Boys stand by and Poor Boys stand by and stuff. I'm like, Yeah, but Joe Biden actually kind of funded neo-Nazis into Ukraine that make those Proud Boys look like Cub Scouts. Well, that's
I
what
know.
we're talking about now, these jihadists that are going over there right now, and they have to defend that land and civilians and what they can go in, the death and destruction they can cause. This can get seriously bloody and out of hand here, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's to be continued on that end too as well. Amongst other things going on, we got that, you know? Which could lead to an escalation one after the other after the other. You know, if God forbid Russia hits down a Turkey jet, you know, that just prompts Pompeo to do something. And who knows at this point, or, you know, and Turkey, what freaking agitators Erdogan has been just throughout the whole region, the whole freaking time. Just
He's awful. I mean, it's just
terrible.
like, this is just, I mean, Pompeo must be licking his chops because he's like, oh, this is a great proxy war we could have with Russia. I mean, like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
because Russia funds everybody. Russia does business with Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Turkey. So,
Yeah.
and
Even
Iran,
the Democrats screwed us out of that. Even I not to say anything. I would have took Flynn any day of the week over Pompeo or any of these guys or Bolton, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that Flynn's the best, but you know, he was a little bit more paying attention to China. But you know, I mean, Flynn was the guy who kind of called out Obama for his behavior and his policies within Syria when he was doing that victory lap for
Yeah.
getting Osama bin Laden. Flynn put him on the spot. And he seemed like to be a better choice. But I mean, they screw up everything, the Democrats. They can't even, they're not a real opposition party. They're for censorship. They're for shitty elections. They're more warmongers than Joe. You know what I'm saying? Joe Biden is the only guy they could put up there that is just awful on criminal justice, the guy who authored the 1994 crime bill. I mean,
there's
you know
no
what I'm saying?
choice between these two guys. They both are for fracking. I mean, like it's the deep state. Like the deep state, the CIA likes Biden a little bit more. That's what's happening. I mean, and so that makes the QAnon Trumpers go, see, Trump's outside the system. No, he's not. He's part of this. I mean, he's part of it. There's no good option here. This notion that Tuesday is going to decide the fate of America, it's already been decided. It's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
It's done.
We're not getting out of the woods of this election.
No.
But I tell people, if there's any hope, it ain't coming out of this election. However, I like your idea. Before you kick me off, Jesse Ventura, if he wins Alaska, that would be great. See, now with Jesse Ventura being on all those ballots, and I'm saying I haven't set my ballot, and I've been pretty set on voting for Gloria La Riva. You know what I'm saying? I like her. She's going to be here tomorrow. In fact, we're going to go see her at 5 o'clock, and I think she's in Washington Square Park or Griffith Park over there. I don't know. She's in one of the parks over there. I got to figure out. But you know, she got on the ballot. She's an anti-imperialist, so I think I'm going to vote for her. But the Jesse Ventura thing is very intriguing. You know, I really want him to get the Green Party ticket. I was hoping for that. I called you a couple days before when we were doing all that breakdown of what's going on. Those people fighting to get Jesse Ventura on the ballot, just kudos to them. What great
the
work
draft
right over there.
they did great work. Like I'm an elector because of them. And you know, he's a write-in candidate in California and a bunch in Alabama and several other states, Iowa, Wyoming. So
Yeah.
it's
So it makes it intriguing now, right? So maybe now we get a little push. Hey, Jesse Ventura, make sure he, you know, just gets a little stuff around the country so people know. So, you know, even though I said I was going to vote for Gloria La Riva, I haven't marked my ballot yet. I still think I'm pretty sure I'm going to because I really like her. But really intriguing stuff, Graham. And yeah, we'll see.
All right, brother. Well, great to have the show, and we'll see you Tuesday. I'll stop by Convo Couch. I'm going to be live too, and then I'm going to be on Crosstalk at night at 9 o'clock at night Pacific time.
Yeah, we did his other show, The Gaggle, the other day. It was not bad. We were on
nice.
with, Samvelli. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, have a great time. What are you going to be for Halloween?
A surfer.
Halloween's canceled here in California. So I'm going to be a Russian doctor. I love
All
you,
right,
brother.
dude. Love you too, man. Say hi to Fee and Johnny for me. We'll talk soon.
I will. We'll see you on election night, my man.
All right, brother. Check out the Combo Couch, ladies and gentlemen. They're doing fine work over there. They got a whole team. They're not just one lunatic in an apartment. So let's go back. I got a bunch of super chats to read, then I'm gonna sign off because it's I'm losing my voice. Sam Dean, boom. Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Lighter subject. I'm wearing the shirt you gave me, mate. Best remembered thoughts on Oz, mate. Say good day to Pasta. Gee, you both rock for what you do. Oh, that last tour in Australia was so great. I mean, the sold out show in Melbourne was fantastic. All the shows were great. Like, we sold out in Melbourne the first night, which was just awesome. The Adelaide show was so cool because we met Stephen Hale came to the show. We talked MMT the next day with this other economist. God, the matinee show we did in Sydney was so cool, and that's this cool rock club. The People for Assange came out to, I think, every show. Perth, I mean, meeting Caitlin Johnstone was great. Perth was beautiful, and the show there was super fun. And we hung out. We had a couple of days off, and surfing in Western Australia was awesome. Yeah. I don't know. The whole trip was awesome. I love that Australian trip. Ron and I were just like, this is so cool. I mean, like, it was all so awesome. Like, I stayed in Bondi Junction in Sydney, and we had this awesome Airbnb in Melbourne, and this 2-bedroom like balcony in this cool neighborhood. Just Melbourne was so great. Adelaide, we had this like nice like condo, and we bought all this food, and Ron cooked pasta. Or no, that was in Perth. Adelaide is where Ron set the toaster on fire. So that was a whole nother thing. Harry C. Smith, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. This year, Victoria introduced euthanasia. Yesterday, my friend's friend went peacefully at home with her son holding her hand after a long, painful battle with lung cancer. She suffers no more. R.I.P. Connie. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. I wish we had euthanasia in this country. My father probably would have chosen to die like a year or two ago. He was miserable. He hated it. He was ready to go. And one of the reasons we don't have it in this country is so that the for-profit healthcare system can milk as much money out of people. I saw him do it to my dad. He was awful. It was painful. It sucked. It sucked, man. So thank you for sharing that. 275 likes. Let's get up to 300 likes, folks. Sparky, boom. Most Trumpers aren't cultists at all. They just see the establishment as a bigger danger. Biden is pure establishment and military-industrial complex. Yeah, but so's Trump. I mean, like, some of the Trump people act like cult people. They do. They act like cultists. And that's a thing. Ruth P. voted my original choice today, Sanders Gabbard. Nice. Good for you. All right. No, tons of trumpets. They're disappointed in him hiring swamp dwellers and warmongers, but they're enthusiastic because it annoys single justice warriors. Ah, okay. Sparky again, boom. Love Jordan's work in Flint, but on some issues, his youth keeps him from knowing what he's looking at. 35 is the new 14. I don't know if I agree with that at all. But thanks for supporting the show, Sparky. Where's the other ones here? Sparky, careful, Graham. Pasta might go full white man on you, like Nico says. Shave your knuckles for justice. Oh, fun stuff. This is a fun chat. Some dark, heavy shit, but it was good to at least the stump stuff we just got to laugh about. Sparky again. Thanks, brother, so much. I noticed that Graham refuses to have Whitney Webb and Max Blumenthal at the same time. Could this be at the behest of the NGOs? I don't know, Max. Like, Whitney, I know. So I don't know, Max. I'd love to have him on the show. But yeah. All right, folks. I'm hungry. I'm losing my voice. It's me, Dark Shield. My old account was deleted. Oh, Vladimir. I'm sorry about that. I wish I had enough money to sponsor independent media. Well, don't worry. There's a lot of great ways to support the show that are free. If money's tight, and I totally get this, and I say this every live chat because I want any new people to hear this and know this, it's totally okay. Make sure when I say hit the like button, it's important. It's not for my ego. It's those analytics help the videos. So hit the like button. Also, make sure you're subscribed. They are unsubscribing me. You may have already been unsubscribed. You've maybe been like, Graham, I subscribed to your channel years ago, or I've always been. They have probably unsubscribed you. Check it out. A lot of people have been unsubscribed. Hit the subscribe button. Positive comments in the video when I put the clips up. Comments in the video, like even just thumbs up, whatever. That helps. Sharing the videos on your social media. Even if you have a small social media following, it doesn't matter. That helps. Signing up for Rockfin is free. Go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. They have a $10 premium where if you do that, you get everybody's free premium content like Convo Couch and Nico House and Ron and everybody. So check. That's a free thing you can do. Listen to my Pandora channel. I have a Pandora channel. There's ads in it, but it's free. Graham Elwood Pandora channel. You hear my 2 comedy albums and other comedians. When you hit thumbs up on all my comedy tracks, I get residual income. Listen and download to the Political Vigilante podcast, and positive reviews in that help. Those are all free things you can do to support the show. And if you got a little money, patreon.com/Graham Elwood. The super chats are great. The $10 a month at rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, blockchain cryptocurrency platform. I have a PayPal button at grahamelwood.com. I have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood, but don't worry if money's tight. It sucks right now what's happening, but I know people have lost work. I know the economy's tough, so don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all. Harry C. Smith was there in Melbourne. That was an awesome show. All right, folks. Vladimir Darkseid. Boom. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Sparky, you read the Jordan C one. Thanks. You got it, brother. Thanks for supporting the show. Or maybe you're a gal. I don't know. You're awesome, Graham. We need more people like you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. All right. We did it. Thank you, Kate, our moderator. 295 likes. Let's get it over to 300. Over 300. 5 more people hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, now's the time to do it. Let's get it over 300. Boom, boom, pow. Boom, boom, 296. Boom, boom, pow. Come on now. 4 more. 4 more. 4 more years. No, don't say that, Graham. 4 more. 4 more likes. 2 more likes. 298. 2 more. Let's do it. Let's do 302. We did it. Awesome. All right, folks. All right. Thank you for watching the show. Tomorrow we're doing Government Secrets with Lee Camp, I think at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. But I'm going to confirm that with Lee in the morning. It's a little late on the East Coast. Thank you to Kate, our moderator. Kate, rock and roll. Don't forget, Jesse Ventura is an official write-in. This means your votes will count. Alabama, California, Iowa, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington, D.C., and Wyoming. And he is on the ballot in Alaska. Thank you so much. Check that out. All right, everybody. I'm too tired and my voice is shot to sing. Glad you had fun tonight. It was cool having Pasta on the show. I'll drop 3 clips tomorrow from tonight's live stream. Thanks for watching. Shave your knuckles for justice. You're all making Gotham great again. Yeah. Boom.